Hi, this is Tammy from Rebel Canners and Rebel Fermenters as well, two groups on Facebook. I'm jumping on the bandwagon with the Kneady Homesteader, and I have my sourdough, and you can see it needs to be stirred. I fed it last night and it went wild. It doubled because I'm planning on using it here. I used a little different one because I don't have time to babysit it like that, and so I am going to be doing a quick start. And so I had a friend. The whole reason I found this whole thing is she said, "Hey, you want a bread maker?" And I had not had one in quite a while, and I'm like, "Yes, I want the bread maker." And so I looked at my rapid rise yeast, and it expired. Oh, I took the date off in December of 2014. So there was some still in here. I'm like, it's probably alive. Let's see what we can do with it. And so I did the quick start method, did everything wrong, used my city water, and used the rapid rise yeast, and used the sugar and a little bit of water from the tap, and it's going great guns. So I'm going to leave a link somewhere here to the formula I used, and it's just real simple. You take your all-purpose or your rye. The main thing with this is whatever kind of flour you're going to be using when you're cultivating your yeast, you want to use that flour. So if you're going to be making rye bread, use rye. If you're going to be making whole wheat bread, you want to cultivate a yeast that does well with whole wheat. So the whole point is to try, but you can mix them. If you have a little bit of this and a little bit of that in your cupboard, don't throw it out, don't waste it, don't get all, oh my gosh, you can mix them. It's fine. It'll still eat the flour. You just want to develop one that will work best for the kind of bread you're going to use yourself. So I got this from the dollar store for $1, and it's all purpose. You want unbleached, but didn't have that, so I used bleached. My yeast should be dead, and it's not. So, don't get so uptight. It's not that big a thing. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay? Look, it's going berserk. I'm going to have to, do something with it today. But again, I did that so I could use it today. I got one of these from the dollar store. Whips it up. So you put your flour and your water in and whip it up with your warm water and yeast that you've put together. And if you want to really give it a kickstart, you put a little sugar in there too to really feed the yeast at first to get it going. Put it in. I'm using this one. Remember, yeast is alive. You say that again. Yeast is alive. It needs food, it needs water, it needs oxygen. So, even though I'm using this and I have this in here, I am, making sure that there's air getting in there frequently. I don't want a lot of wild yeast from the air, so I'm, open him up, give him fresh air, close it back down. I'm using this one because it will, pop open if it needs to. You can cover it in a mason jar. This was my handy dandy measuring jar. So you can see the flour all over it. You can use a mason jar and put a hanky over it, but give yourself double the room. Stay, you could make this by the gallons, but then you'd use a 2-gallon jar. Put a handkerchief over it, rubber band thing. I like how Kneady Homesteader is using the rubber bands or the hair ties to measure the growth in there. And see, he's all got that liquid on top. That's normal. Don't freak out. You can pour that off, or, if you're just getting started, you can stir it back in. Don't freak out. What you do want to freak out is if you see colored spots on the top. Fuzzy white stuff. then you freak out. Start over. You're not out more than, $1 in the cost of your bottled water. Use bottled water. Be better than me. Use the red top regular yeast, not the rapid rise. Use bottled water so that you don't have any chlorine that's going to kill your yeast. And the beauty of the starter I'm using is I don't have to refrigerate it. This little baby is off-grid starter. It just needs room temperature. It just needs love when you use some. I don't have to do this whole rigmarole. So I won't be doing the 9-day. If you want to follow along with the Kneady Homesteader, she's doing a 9-day on YouTube. She's got a great Facebook group. Go join her Facebook group and follow along there. There's a lot of recipes, a lot of pictures. If you are into food porn, then go look at all the pictures of the food in there. Or go see my friend at Bumble Bee Junction. He's following along with her and doing the whole 9 days. I don't have enough video experience to do this every day. So this is my baby at 4 days. I'll show you a picture of her at 2 days. But, I did the whole 1970s Herman. If you were alive in the 1970s, you'll remember Herman sourdough. And, we tried to keep him alive in Tupperware and plastic and didn't know any better. And then in the 90s to 2000, I did the Amish friendship bread. Oh my gosh, I had those bags exploding on my counter all the time making friendship bread. I think I put on 50 pounds during that whole phase. And so that was fun. And this one I have is a little bit more like that. If you add the sugar to get it started, it's a little sweeter. But open it up. It should smell yeasty. You'll know how your starter's doing. So you can baby this and love it, or you can be like me and be an old sourdough who doesn't want to give it a lot of love and attention, but just wants to bake bread once a week. Use it, feed it, forget it, come back in a week, leave them on the countertop. My house is really cold right now, so I'm leaving them next to the heater, but not too close. So come back in a week, use it, feed it. 1-to-1 ratio. If I take out 1 cup to use in something, I'm going to feed it a 1-to-1 ratio. So 1 cup used, 1 cup flour, 1 cup water back in. If I take out 3 cups to use, which I don't think I have enough quite to do something like that. But if I was really ambitious and growing the 1-gallon jug, I would do the 3 cups. I would do 3 cups of flour, 3 cups of flour. And if it's starting to look a little sluggish, I would give it a little sugar to get it boosted back up. And that's it. As this goes over time, you will notice it will change. It will change in flavor, depending on the yeast. And the yeast doesn't come from your air. Nope. The yeast is coming from the yeast that are on your flours. Okay, that's natural. That's where it comes from. If you have yeast in your air, you need an air filter system in your home. No. There is wild yeast out there, but it's growing on things. You can do a starter from potatoes. You can do a starter from grapes. They have a lot of natural yeast that grow on them. And so those are really good too. In fact, if you want to be frugal, here's a frugal tip for me. If you're boiling water for mashed potatoes, boiling potatoes to make something, save that water and use that water to feed him. He will really appreciate it, your little yeasty starter. So you can use potato water to get it a jump start too. Okay, and it will take off. So beware, make sure you have given him lots of room to grow. And those are my tips for the day. Thank you for sharing your time with me, and I will see you. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. When I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'll be able to do lives. So please subscribe, like, leave me a comment. I love comments. I'll try to get back to you. Join our Facebook groups. We have Rebel Canners. Rebel Fermenters. We have local groups and we have international groups for people who are in different countries, because Australia and New Zealand are on the opposite season as us, so they have their own group. So join the main Rebel Canners and then look at the listings below. You can get some local hints and then the Rebel Fermenters. And then there's a couple other subgroups too you might like that I don't run myself but are very closely affiliated with us. So see us on Facebook. I will see you in the next video, and thank you.